All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It's another day. Didn't have a math lesson yesterday. I actually went to the school and cleaned out lockers for you guys, and so I didn't do any math lesson or science lesson yesterday. So you didn't miss anything. Today is the lesson for April 14th, 2020. Sit back, watch. There is an assignment that goes along with it, but nothing too big. So I hope you had a good long weekend, and let's get ready to roll. So this week, what we're going to be covering is an extension of the intro that we did to integers. So this week, we're actually going to start working with integer values and playing around with them. So one of the first things we're going to do is establish the symbols that we'll use for positive and negative. So today I'm going to use shaded in circles will equal positive values, and non-shaded circles will equal the negative values. So if we have a shaded circle, that's a positive one. Non-shaded circle is a negative one. There's really only 3 or 4 cases that you need to think about. And the first one, and the best way to do this is with examples. So we're going to set aside the values of the integers with brackets. And the first example is when both integers are positive. If both integers are positive, then you're guaranteed to have a positive answer when you're adding. And basically all we're accumulating are positive things. So I want you to think of addition as combining. So if we wanted to show this with a model, we could show 3 positives and shade those in. That one doesn't look quite circular. There we go, even them up a bit. And then if I add on one more positive, basically what I like to show is somehow the first integer, there's our positive 3. We're going to add on positive 1. And since they're both the same, we have a total of 4. And we're going to shade those in because they're all positive. It's just like regular addition. Okay? The second case that we could have is if we have negative values and we're combining them. So one of the things you'll notice on the worksheet, if you are printing them off in color, if you take a look at the worksheet, I think one of the ones I have, the colors are black and red. Just make sure that you pay attention to what symbols are being used for what. So here we have 3 negatives and we're adding on 1 more negative. So the answer to this one is going to be -4, because that's all we're combining together, are negatives. So there's no canceling out. There's our first integer, -3. We're going to leave it unshaded because, like I said, our non-shaded ones today are symbolizing negative integers. And we're going to combine 1 more. That's our -1. And if we put them all together, we would have 4 non-shaded circles left. So there's no cancellation. The third case, and it doesn't matter what order they come in, the third case is when you have a negative and a positive being combined, or a positive and a negative. So when this happens, we'll just do -3 plus or combined with a +1. So I'm using really small integers so that I don't have to do a lot of writing today. Let's see what it looks like with a model first. If we show our 3 negatives, we have 1, 2, 3 negatives. And if I combine that with a +1, we have a situation here which is what we call a zero pair. A zero pair. And if you think back to the first couple lessons we did last week on integers, whenever there's a positive combined with a negative, they cancel each other out, and that creates a 0. So in the end, if we had 3 negatives and we combine it with a positive, we're going to have 2 negatives left over. And the answer to this one is, in fact, -2. -2. Okay? Now, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what order they come in. And try to keep this video a little bit shorter. We just hit the 5-minute mark, so I'm trying to keep them short so that you can watch them and then do the work. Let's say we had +3 and we were adding on a -1 to that. So if we had +3, we're starting off with 3 shaded in integer discs or circles, and we're going to combine it with a negative. And there's only one. There's still a 0 pair here. 1 positive and 1 negative creates 0. So the answer to this one is what we would have left. And we have 1, 2 positives left. So the answer to this one is also +2 because the quantities are the same. The integer signs have changed. Okay, the quantities are the same, but the integer signs have changed. So for today, what I'd like you to do is, number 1, go on IXL. I got a shout out today for one of our students. Big shout out today to Sydney DeCare. She has officially done more questions than anybody else this week. And shout out to Nate Salta. Nate Salta was the high achieving IXL student for last week. So big shout out to you guys. Go on IXL and check out the grade 7 and the grade 8 integer tabs. When you go there, you're going to see that I've started off some new practice work for you. There's different ways of symbolizing these, which we'll probably do on tomorrow's lesson. And the second thing I want you to do is hit up the assignment. The assignment for today looks a little bit like this, adding integers. You're going to find it on Google Classroom. Keep the pace. If you're handing this in on a Google document, it really helps. A lot of you are typing up your answers in columns like this, and you're just putting in the numerical answer. That is totally fine. I like that, actually. It's pretty easy to follow with my answer keys. And some of you are actually doing this, printing it off, and some of you are writing it out on loose leaf, taking a picture of this. Any way you want to do it is fine with me. So the second thing that you're going to do with today's information is you're going to do lesson 1.5 from today. It's just a 1-pager. We'll do the second page of it tomorrow. I hope you have a good day. Great job with the assignments. You're doing an excellent job getting them in. And if you have any questions, don't go to my room because I'm not there. Okay, I'm at home. Okay, have a great one.